With us, and what the heck happened to the Broncos? You picked them, I picked them. What's the deal?
Time for me to eat crow. I told everyone last week, take the Broncos -2. I messed up. I took Emeka Okafor. I messed up. So that's on me.
It's been known to happen. And the thing about last night, I mean, people were barely sitting down in their couch getting the guacamole dip going, and it's 2-0. That was wild.
It happened right out of the gate, and everyone said, you know, here's the first play. The Broncos have a mishap. They have a little center exchange problem, and everyone thought that they would be okay. Let's settle down. It's only 2-0. They stopped the Seahawks. They only gave up a field goal. Figured they're back in the game. It's only 6 or 5-0. They do it again, an interception. It's 8-0. There's still one score. And the wheels just kept on falling off for them. They had no chance.
And you're right. I kept thinking, okay, the offense is so good, something's got to turn around here. Let's roll in the Malcolm Smith interception. And that's when, you know, this was deep in the second quarter. And that's when, you know, there's no shot. They're not coming back.
This was kind of it, because it was 15-0. They were 2 scores away. They were actually moving the ball fairly well. And then Peyton Manning, who the Seattle defense gets all the credit because they moved him around all night. They pressured him from the line to the safeties. They were all over the Broncos. It felt like they had 15 guys on the field all night long.
Exactly. I think they might have. And then you're thinking, okay, if you're an optimist, okay, Denver has to come out third quarter and make something happen immediately. If they do, maybe there's just this much of a chance they can get back into it. And then what happens?
Yeah, I was just getting done saying that the Broncos can get back in this game, and right as they kick off, a little mishap. They kicked it short. Looked like they were trying to kick away from Percy Harvin. And Percy Harvin, who is Seattle's biggest game changer, who was injured most of the year, returns a kick, and that's it. The game was already over, but now it was officially over.
It got to the level of pathetic and embarrassing at that point, right?
Exactly. And Peyton Manning was asked after the game, he said, you know, was this embarrassing? And he said, no, we're not embarrassed. We had a great season. But if you're the #1 offense in NFL history and you only score 8 points in the Super Bowl, that's embarrassing.
I agree with you. One more thing before we go. We got to roll in the Joe Namath clip, all right? Before the game, a little anxious to get the coin flip going. Of course, looked pretty nice in that fur coat. Don't you have that same fur coat?
I have the same coat. I think Joe Namath still thinks it's 1965. I love it, though, because Peyton Manning, the talk all week was Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning. Joe Namath shows up and reminds everyone who's the alpha dog.
Exactly. Broadway Joe getting it done. Well, Dan, good to see you. Better luck next time.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Barstool Sports, Dan Katz. John, back to you, buddy.
All right, Corey.